Welcome to Empowerment Radio. My name is Dr. Friedemann, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me. Empowerment Radio is about giving you the insights, tools, and solutions to address some of the most challenging aspects of our daily lives. So sit back, relax, and empower yourself. Meditation. That's what we just have talked about. The lucky stars that aligned for Susan when she had her first experience in meditation, which wasn't really my experience, because when I tried to meditate, just because I was so stressed out, I tried it in a bathtub, which is not necessarily the best place to meditate. And I either fell asleep or I just got really mad because my mind certainly did not slow down. And it wasn't until I discovered Kundalini yoga and meditation that I learned some of the principles of meditation, and really learned also that there's some work that needs to be done in order to be able to, let's say, get a little bit of a handle on meditation, because ultimately to gain a mastery in meditation will take a lifetime, at least from my perspective. Now, Susan, why do you believe so many people are, you said like in the 60s, it was very rare that people knew about meditation, and now, everyone and their cousin meditates. So where does this meditation revolution come from? And can you give us those that are struggling with it and they're saying, that's not for me, I don't know how to do it. Can you give us a little hint on how to make it easier?
Yes. First of all, I'll talk about the beginnings of meditation in the West. In 1959, when Maharishi Mahesh Yogi first came to the West, there was no meditation, there was no mantra, there was no yoga. These terms didn't exist in the West. In fact, there weren't even hardly any esoteric bookstores. There were maybe two in the whole country, one in LA, one in New York, and that was it. And certainly the mainstream bookstores had no metaphysical information or information about yoga or anything like that. So people were completely ignorant in the West about all of these things. And then within 10 years, after Maharishi arrived in the West, with a little help from his friends, the Beatles.
That helped, yes.
That helped. Meditation became a household word. And during Maharishi's lifetime, he trained 40,000 teachers of transcendental meditation. And they taught 6 million people to meditate. So when I was on his staff, we were holding these giant teacher training courses in Europe, and thousands of people would come to be trained as teachers.
Wow. And why would you say there is a desire to meditate? Is it because so many people are kind of turned away or turned off from religion, or what's the seeking in meditation?
I think that's part of it, yes, for sure. But the reality is that meditation really reduces stress and hypertension and the kinds of illnesses and things that our modern day society is pervasive in those really negative influences, negative vibrations, so many things that people really need to learn how to settle down, how to relax. Because there's a lot of tension and anxiety, especially during this time with the pandemic going on and everything going on. More than ever, people really need to meditate. Not only meditate, they need to learn how to develop their intuition. Very, very important at this time.
Yes, and that's definitely something we will talk about also around the third eye and the book that you have written on that. But just briefly about meditation, there's so many thoughts on how difficult it is, and why is my mind just, even more loud and rambunctious when I try to shut it down. And what would you say to people that have been trying and just giving up because they say, that's not for me, I can't sit still, I have to walk around. As soon as I want to meditate, I have ants in my pants?
Well, the operative word that you mentioned is trying. Trying is antithetical to meditation. Effort, trying, forcing, trying to control the mind, all of these things are completely the opposite of what meditation is. Meditation's about getting comfortable, really comfortable, in a comfortable position, in a comfortable chair or bed or something that's really comfortable where you can sit and just be completely effortless and easy and so relaxed. And trying to control the mind is not the purpose of meditation, and it's not going to work.
I agree.
Meditation, successful meditation comes from comfort and relaxation. So one way to make more comfort, to allow yourself to be relaxed, is to take some deep breaths. For example, I'll just demonstrate a deep breath like this. So I think everyone right now who's watching this, why don't you just take 3 deep breaths with me, just like this.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel after taking 3 deep breaths?
Always better. It's always a wonderful,
Definitely.
yeah, calming, parasympathetic, stimulating experience. And
Exactly.
now I've, wonder when people, do just take the breath and they feel like, well, this cannot be enough. Isn't that the wonderful just start to get yourself centered by simply doing that? And there needs to be nothing else magical about it.
It's really that simple. That will take you into a state of relaxation. And there are other things you can do that are very helpful for meditation. One thing that you can do is call upon a divine being or an angel, an archangel, a deity of your belief, of your own understanding. Call upon that deity by name and ask to be taken into a deep meditation. Everything that I teach is based upon one principle, and that is ask and it shall be given unto you. So when you ask, you will receive, especially when it comes to meditation and spirituality and these kinds of things that are so easy and effortless to get these things simply by asking for them.
So who do you ask when you don't have a spiritual connection?
Ask spirit, ask for spirit, or ask for your higher self. You could just say, higher self, please take me into a deep meditation. And by the way, I do recommend that when you're asking, that you say it verbally, not just think it in your head. Say it verbally.
Out loud.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ask and ask verbally. You can ask for whatever it is you want during your meditation. You can ask for healing of a specific problem. You can ask for advice about a specific conflict that you're having in your life. You could ask for creative ideas about a project you're working on. There's so many things. Just really, your only limit is your imagination about what you can ask for during meditation.
But does it matter what energy there is behind the question? So for example, if you're asking, I don't want to have anxiety, take the anxiety away through the meditation, and you're all anxious and stressed out while you're asking, is that creating the wrong energy?
No, it's fine. It's a good idea, though, to be positive and say, I'd like more relaxation. I'd like to be, to feel a sense of wholeness. But it's okay to say, I'd like to release stress, release tension,
Yeah.
So asking really, really helps. The deep breaths really, really help. And as you're taking the deep breaths, you're getting quieter and quieter. I would say you're going to be taking a lot more than 3 deep breaths as you're going deeper and deeper into the meditative state. And then when you're feeling in that deep state, when you're really feeling very relaxed and you're feeling a sense of wholeness, a sense of oneness, then I recommend doing something that people just generally don't do during meditation. Generally, people are very passive during meditation.
Yes.
And what I recommend is once you get into that meditative state, once you're quiet and you feel some relaxation, and by the way, that doesn't mean that your mind turns off or that you have a blank mind or anything like that. You're just feeling relaxed. So once you're in that relaxed state, that's the time to ask a question, ask for guidance, ask for advice. That's the time to ask for something very specific. And then take another deep breath and then do what I call the do nothing program. That means do nothing, nothing, and less than nothing. And the less you do, the better experience you're going to have. And so simply ask and then take that big deep breath, do the do nothing program, and then you'll receive the answer to your question, you'll receive the inner guidance, you'll receive inspiration, intuition, ideas, whatever it is that you've asked for, then you'll be receiving.
And is that from that little voice, that still small voice inside of you that you describe, that you receive the answers from?
Exactly, the still small voice within. It could be a voice, it could be a vision, it could be a feeling. It isn't always necessarily a voice. But when I say voice, it doesn't mean you're going to be hallucinating and hearing something like my voice talking to you right now. It'll occur to you in your mind. You'll receive inspiration. It'll come to you in your mind. And you'll receive inspiration. You'll receive the answer to your question or your concern. And that's called intuition.
And that's a really wonderful topic I want to talk about, especially that is something that's also, part of your work, this divine revelation, which is about the small voice inside. How do we actually identify this voice? How do we trust that voice? How do we know it's not our ego or our anxiety speaking? All of those things we'll address after the break. Hi, Dr. Friedemann here. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more about fear and anxiety, here you'll find guided meditations, webinars, and interviews with some of the most renowned experts in the field of empowerment. Delve into the over 230 videos and more to come every week.